Synergy bonus. Kicking off no, we already kicked off Spooky Month. Continuing Spooky Month, we're going to be doing yet another one of our little top 10 lists, throwing out some of our favorite horror and Halloween-themed levels in video games.
And also giving back Vigo his shtick.
You haven't taken it in a while.
I took it last time.
You weren't here for a while. Either.
I mean, we're not going to talk about how I took it, but, yeah.
He at least bought me a drink first.
I also slipped him a Molly.
Wouldn't have minded, except it was Ringwald, and she's like, what, 60?
Could have been worse. Could have been Maitland Ward.
Oh.
Coming in at number 10, we have the Haunted Woods from Diddy Kong Racing. It is thematic, and it is a fun jaunt in a racing game. There's not much I can say about it, it's very thematic.
It's kind of memorable, it's got
a catchy tune.
Yeah, catchy music.
And also, Whiz Pig. He's a wizard. And a pig.
Yes.
Magical bacon?
Magical bacon that is trying to kill you. That's kind of spooky.
Diddy Kong Racing as a whole is just phenomenal, but...
And here's an innocent young conqueror.
The Haunted Woods definitely stand out. Perhaps we will do a dive into Diddy Kong Racing at some point.
Yeah. Alright, number 9. The Sorrow River from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Tell us a little bit about this, sir.
This is a Cobra's boss fight in Metal Gear Solid 3 where you are kind of on the cusp of life and death and you're forced to walk down basically the river Styx that presents itself as a weird mango grove. And if you're a monster like me or Spoonie, more so me than Spoonie, you will be confronted and attacked by every enemy that you've killed in the game. In Spoonie's case, it was a couple of guys whose throats he slit.
Because I accidentally hit the wrong button when interrogating when I just...
In my case, it was an army of guys I shot in the nuts. Because that shit's still funny and I'm 33.
The important thing is, I had the ends parrot in mind going, Grandpa!
And so did I, but that little bastard shouldn't have been able to say Grandpa because I ate him.
So
he tasted delicious. Screw you, End. You're dead.
The short version is don't let Spoonie near your pets. Alright, coming in at number 8. The Scarecrow levels from the Arkham Asylum game. These are 3 levels that come together where Batman is assaulted by Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow, and filled full of fear venom.
And that could have been worse than I thought. I was thinking of Fraser Crane.
Thought Fraser, I thought Niles.
Oh, God.
I mean, if either of them was likely to go supervillain, it's Niles. No, you have these hallucinations where it goes from being this big sort of sandboxy dungeon crawling thing to a side-scrolling platformer where you're hiding from the Scarecrow as his giant searchlight body here, as you can see, is looking for you around all of these buildings. And you just have to duck behind the rubble and so on until you can hit him with the bat signal to dispel the hallucination. And they're very... The whole game is very dark and creepy, but this just cranks it up a notch.
Ironically, this is one of the stages I can get behind Batman.
Because it's not over the shoulder.
Exactly.
And also, you're fighting a giant kaiju.
Kaiju Crow.
Crowju! Wait.
No.
Anyways, number 7. Transylvania from the original DuckTales. Yes, it's a fun stage. The track is catchy. You can hit suits of iron, knocking off their heads for power-ups, or just knocking their heads off.
There's fun.
There's
skeleton. You're a monster.
There's skeleton ducks. There's mummies around with ball and chains.
And in the remastered version you have here, it actually gets even better because it's just so much prettier.
It is. It is. There's coffins where you can hit.
However, the voice actors are that much closer to death.
Well, one of them
also
is.
thematically appropriate.
One of them is already dead, so. But you can hit the coffins and get ghosts, and like Trav said, the Magica. What's the last name?
Dispel.
Oh, Magica Dispel, yes.
Is the
Corella
final. And actually, this in the original, not the remake. This is the final stage again when you fight the vampire duck, Count Dracula duck, or whatever.
Count Duckula. Wait, wrong. Count Duckula.
Wrong series.
Yeah,
Oh, that was a good series.
it was.
All right. Moving on, number 6, we've got the Phantom Train from Final Fantasy VI.
The music, again, is great. Actually, I think the music for most of these is going to be great, but what makes
Phantom Train, it's the Doom Train that's a reoccurring summon in the Final Fantasy series. Also, the one point in the game where you can watch one of your party members suplex a train because Sabin is hardcore.
It's true. You can kill this train with a Phoenix down because it is undead itself. But what makes this unique is it's carrying all the souls of the departed. There's ghosts in there. If you go to talk to them, they scream, "Look out!" And then you get into a combat with them.
Or some of the ghosts, if you talk to them, they join your party.
Yes, really briefly. What makes this also kind of interesting and a little sad is after you defeat the Doom Train and it parks, Doma Castle has just been poisoned by Kefka, and all the souls from Doma are boarding the train. Cyan's family is boarding the train.
And he can't reach them because he's alive and they're dead. Gobble,
Yeah.
snarf, snap. Sabin eating undead food. I never forget about that.
Number 5, we have Big Boo's Hunt from Mario 64.
Goddamn piano.
Everyone remembers the piano. You're walking along a room, and this piano just says "fuck you" and just tries to
The
eat
whole
you.
stage is great. It's an homage to the Boo houses from Super Mario World, and it's all creepy, and there's ghosts and stuff everywhere, and then just wham, piano out of nowhere.
Yep, the music is very appropriate. There is a creepy carousel in the basement. It's great.
Fight with King Boo and so on. Yeah.
Yep, it's a great homage to, like you said, the ghost houses of Mario World.
The Shadow Temple from Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
The second of 2 undead-themed dungeons following the old well where you pick up the Eye of Truth. Link is taken in to find the Sage of Shadow, Impa, in this temple at the back of the graveyard after getting the hook shot from Dampy the Gravekeeper's ghost. Everything about this is death-themed. It's full of re-dead and rotting wood and spikes and bloodstains on the floor. It's far and away the darkest temple in the game. All topped off at the very end by a very unique, very memorable monster in Ungo Bungo.
Yeah, just shooting the hands. And
Shooting the hands, making sure
stabbing
you
the
have the
eye.
levitation boots equipped so you don't get knocked over when he's playing the drum.
Yep, and you can only see him with the Lens of Truth.
Yep, it's a big, scary, creep-tastic fight that's really not that hard once you figure it out, but until you figure it out, oh my god. Oh, let's not forget the rivers of blood.
Oh, and the river with the boat.
Yep, yeah, the river Styx and all that, yep. It's a lot of very horror iconography here. And a lot of symbols of death across many cultures.
That brings us to number 3, the Lich Yard from Shovel Knight.
Spectre Knight's stage in the original Shovel Knight game, and Spectre Knight's home base in his personal expansion. And it's, again, another one with a great musical score, a lot of dark thematic elements, dark sections lit up by the lightning bolts,
Very reminiscent of Ninja Gaiden.
Yep. The slashing rain coming at you, buffeting you around, just
The Skull Troops.
skull troopers and so on.
And top it off with the battle at Spectre Knight at the end.
It was him flying around with his big death scythe and his tattered cloak. It's a wonderful spooky theme that'll just keep you coming back for more.
Mm-hmm. And that brings us to number 2, one of our favorite series, not necessarily our favorite game in the series, but from Mega Man 7, Shade Man stage. What makes this memorable is a twofold. Is one, it's just a very nice thematic stage. You've got the nighttime with the crows, and you get random caskets coming up, very similar to Ghouls and Ghosts. Which, if you hold down certain buttons, you get the theme from Ghouls and Ghosts here.
Did not know that.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Capping it all off with a very Castlevania-esque fight against Shade Man himself at the end.
Yeah. There is a Jack-o'-lantern.
Let's face it, yeah, it's the Jack-o'-lantern mini boss that got this place on our list here.
A little bit. But the music is, again, it's great. It's Mega Man, so
even if the Sonic Crusher isn't.
Yeah, Sonic Crusher's kind of a weak weapon, but
Crappy weapon. Great stage.
Exactly.
Before we hit our number one, I'm going to throw out an honorable mention here.
Honorable mention.
We threw out the spooky stage for Conker's Bad Fur Day.
The Chapter 7? Is that what
Chapter 7.
Zombie teddy bastards.
Zombie teddy bastards, zombie squirrels and villagers, Conker briefly getting turned into a bat, and just all of the references to Bram Stoker's Dracula and Gary Oldman's character and so on. If you're a cinephile like us, it's actually a very, very witty, very entertaining stage, but not good enough to make our list. So honorable mention. Anyhow,
that brings us to number one. We had some trouble here deciding this, but we did come to an agreement that
it's a great stage from one of our favorite games.
It's Magus' Keep from Chrono Trigger.
If you discount /Felianazi.
It's one of those things. The music is just this very quiet theme. You've got all these fights leading up to the final showdown with Magus.
Beautiful
The theme of Magus when the final fight starts and the black wind begins to howl.
And just even like the approach to the castle, you come through you see the woods, you see the castle, and the bats fly by the moon.
The gargoyle statues out front.
Actually animated this for the re-release. But yeah. So that's our top 10 horror themes and games. Not necessarily horror games,
or stages.
Stages.
Horror games is kind of its own thing because we're just going to be talking about Castlevania and Resident Evil, and that sounds Silent Hill, and that sounds like regular episodes.
Yeah, it's pretty much our normal stock and trade. So,
so we can only go and cover frickin' the Friday the 13th game. So many
times. Franchise. There's 2 games. The good one and the NES one.
So good night, good gaming.
Well, let us know. Do you think of any Halloween stages that really jump out for you that we didn't think to mention?
Let us know. Leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And with that, good night, good gaming. Hey, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed what you saw.
Let us know. Give us a like and a comment down below.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to make sure you get all notifications from us.
And as always,
good night
and good gaming.